One of the comments that we frequently see on our videos is, I've had my tractor for 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, whatever, and I've never had to buy any parts for it. I'm trying to figure out how that actually works, because for me, that doesn't work. Of course, you have the maintenance parts and everything, but I just break stuff. Am I the only one? Let's talk about that today. Let's get started. The first thing I want to say is I got lucky on this one. It could have been a lot worse. I was carrying a big rock with the grapple. Christy and I were working on our boulder boarder, Dave.
Uh-huh.
You've seen our boulder boarder.
I've seen the boulder boarder. Looks
say
good.
that. Say that again, Dave.
I don't know that I could. Did you get Mexico to pay for that?
That's a good point. Anyway, we had made a bunch of trips between the rock pile on the side and back side of our woods around to where the new boulder boarder is, and everything was going well. I was on my very last trip. Christy was using the Yanmar, okay, and I was using Johnny 3 here. Well, I was buzzing along at, well, as fast as it would go.
NB range.
NB range, yeah. 8 miles an hour. Not really paying too much attention to what I was doing, like normal, I suppose. But I dropped the rock, right? And before I could get stopped, I ran all the way over it.
And what'd you tear up, Tim?
Well, when I looked down at the tractor, all the hydraulic oil was coming out of it.
Not a good day.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I thought it could have been the entire rear end.
Right? Catastrophic failure.
Catastrophic failure. I was really disappointed.
And we had no video. I was in the Yanmar just having fun. And
Yeah.
He had to call me to rescue him.
We didn't have cameras on that day, and it would have been a good time to have had the video on, but Christy and I were just enjoying having just a little fun time with the tractors and building our boulder boarder. And yeah, I had to call Christy and say, my tractor won't move. I've done it again. I was expecting this to be bad. Yeah, catastrophic, as you say, Dave. And when I looked up on partscatalog.deere.com, well, first of all, this is what it looked like. This was the cap. And you can see here that the cap was totally destroyed. Can you get the other piece, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it right there. So the bottom of the threads, see right there, this is where the cap, so it just busted it to pieces. So it goes like that, it's mounted this way, and the rock hit right here and just totally busted it. But that's the fortunate part. This turns out to be a separate piece. This is aluminum, of course, but it's separate from the actual main housing. Yeah, so it came as a part of the whole filter housing with the filter, and the filter itself, just the filter, is $90. But with this housing is $179 or something.
Oh, man.
So this was like a bargain.
Yeah, not a bad price then.
I was not disappointed at all. In fact, I was quite relieved, especially when I saw that we didn't have any other major damage. And Dave's got it put on here in about 5 minutes. It really was 3 bolts. It's no big deal. Now, given that this is where the filter lives, you did find some shavings in there. Right,
Yes, we were a little concerned at the beginning there because it was kind of a significant amount of shavings, and we were concerned that it might have been from the accident. But we took a magnet and tested, and the shavings are metal, steel, therefore it's not from this housing, and that tells me more than likely it's for manufacturing, like when they assemble it and put it all together. Where we found them is back here, and you're never going to get back there to clean that out with a rag. And so you wouldn't know it unless you're replacing this. There was a little cavity right there they're all sitting in. So I took a rag and just got as many as I could.
Yeah, and it's a logical place for all of the shavings to be outside the filter.
Right. Because they're larger, and so they get stuck in the filter, and the pressure goes away, and they fall back out. So they just kind of sit there and live there. They're not doing any harm, but it was nice to get some of them out. So,
could I have avoided this? Yes, I could have avoided this by going 4 miles an hour with my rock instead of 8 miles an hour. There's no question. But am I the only one that does this kind of thing? I don't believe that I am. Some of you are probably careful enough to never have just a failure that was half your fault, right? And half just a circumstance, and maybe it's all your fault. But I have that often, right? It's not unusual for me. And I just don't think I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm probably the only one that talks about it on video like this and throws myself under the bus, but that's what we do here. And because of that, it seems to me like parts availability is more important than what a lot of people give it credit for. This is not a wear part, right? Now, it turns out in this particular case, they're selling it as a part of that filter housing. So it almost is a wear part, but this could have been the casting and could have been some other pieces in there. But I just went on partscatalog.deere.com, found the part, and when I ordered it from my local parts store, it shipped the next day. And that is so comforting to me. I've seen from other brands, there's been videos online of guys that have had their tractors under warranty sent in for something they don't even always explain what the part is, and the tractor's been there for 8 months, a year. That concerns me, and so I just want people to be aware that on tractors, unlike cars, for instance, cars, a lot of times you can find the parts. I think it's because there's such more volume. There's just many more cars produced, and a lot of them have similar parts, and the aftermarket part mechanism or infrastructure is built to be able to do that, right? You can go to your AutoZone or your Napa or O'Reilly. Dave used to work for O'Reilly when he was younger, and that infrastructure is just set up. But we don't really have as much of that for tractor parts. Now, in the case of the major brands, you do have some aftermarket parts availability. So there is some options for that. I've purchased some stuff from like Allstate's Ag Parts and some other places like that. But you're not going to find those parts for the lesser volume brands, right? It just doesn't make sense for them to be sold third party. So you've really got to depend on the manufacturer. You know what the problem that I'm finding is that I don't know how to evaluate that, right? I can't tell if TYM is going to have parts, or Coyote is going to have parts, or Yanmar is going to have parts, or some of these brands that are pretty good machines, right? I don't know what the parts availability is going to be like. I'd like to hear what you have found in the comments. I guess that's what we should try to put together as some sort of a reporting system for people to be able to report in volume, whether they're able to get parts, what part they're looking for, and they were able to get it in one day or whatever. I just don't know. In other words, this could be a false alarm. It's entirely possible that with any brand tractor, you're going to be able to get whatever parts you need to get in a short term. I don't look forward to needing parts for my Yanmar tractor, but in some ways it would be interesting to know if I could get them, right? So yeah, that's something that we are concerned about, and so I'd like to hear your comments on what brand you have, what model you have, what age it is, what parts you've had to get. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Dave's got it fixed now. What I want to leave you with is think about parts availability. There are several brands that I'm certain are going to have really good parts availability, and there are brands that I don't know about. Perhaps you can talk this through with your dealer and maybe kind of check out their parts inventory and see if you can see what their online parts access is like. Do you have good parts documentation online, parts breakdowns for your tractor that you can actually go see and get part numbers yourself? Once you get part numbers, a lot of times it's easier to cross-reference with an aftermarket provider, but it's something to check in on. If you're thinking about a new tractor or a used tractor, just make sure that parts availability is high on your list. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin.